Life has this way of testing us, throwing challenges our way that can feel absolutely overwhelming. But what if all those hardships weren't just obstacles? What if they were actually proof of a strength you didn't even know you had? In this explainer, we're going to dive into some common experiences that really show you're far more resilient than you probably give yourself credit for.
So let me ask you something. When you picture a resilient person, what do you see? Is it someone who's just invincible? Someone who never gets knocked down? I think that's the image a lot of us have, but it's not the whole story, not even close.
Because real resilience, true strength, it isn't about avoiding the fall. It's the art of getting back up. It's about dusting yourself off and choosing to try again, no matter how many times life knocks you over. It's a muscle, and you build it through experience.
Okay, so let's start with some of the deepest challenges we can face as human beings, the ones that really test our hearts and our ability to connect with other people. We're talking about things like surviving heartbreak, navigating the profound grief of losing a loved one, and finding your way back after being betrayed.
Heartbreak can feel like your entire world is just collapsing, right? But the real story is what comes after. Surviving that kind of pain and making the choice to love again, well, that isn't a sign of weakness. That is an act of incredible courage.
And in that same vein, losing someone you love changes you forever. Real strength in that situation isn't about getting over it. It's about finding a way to carry that loss with you, to make it part of you, while still finding joy and meaning in life. That whole process builds this deep, quiet compassion inside you.
And betrayal. Now that's a tough one. It really strikes at the very foundation of your ability to connect. When you heal from that, you're forced to recalibrate your own judgment, to really listen to your gut. It's not just about trusting other people again, it's about rebuilding an unbreakable trust in yourself, and that is a profound kind of strength.
All right, next up, let's look at the trials of circumstance. These are the external challenges that life just throws at us, testing our ability to adapt, to pivot, and to just keep going.
So here, we're going to explore what it really means to start over completely from scratch, to face serious money problems, to battle an illness, and to navigate those periods of profound uncertainty.
Starting over, whether it's a new city or a totally new career, is honestly terrifying. But that process, it forces you to step into the unknown, to embrace change, and ultimately, you discover this amazing adaptability you never even knew you had.
And facing financial stress is another one of those huge tests. It can be so incredibly draining. But coming out the other side equips you with these invaluable skills. You learn how to be persistent, how to stay humble, and man, do you learn how to get creative with what you've got.
When it feels like your own body is turning against you, the fight is both physical and emotional. Getting through a serious health crisis requires this deep, deep well of strength. If you have been there, you have already proven to yourself that you possess a level of toughness that is truly incredible.
And this right here gets to the absolute core of it. Our minds hate uncertainty, but life is just full of it. If you've ever managed to stay grounded when you had absolutely no control over the outcome, you have cultivated a powerful inner calm, and that is resilience in its purest form.
Okay, for our final section, let's turn inward. Because some of the most difficult challenges we ever face are the ones that happen inside our own minds. Those internal struggles that truly forge our character.
We're going to cover 3 key internal battles: having the courage to stand up for yourself, the persistence to try again after you've failed, and the strength it takes to finally let go of the past. Saying no, or setting a boundary, that can be incredibly difficult, right? Especially when you're worried about conflict or letting someone down. But choosing to protect your own energy and your own self-worth, that is a quiet but absolutely powerful act of personal strength.
Now, I want you to let this next idea really sink in. We are taught our whole lives to think of failure as the end of the road, the total opposite of success. But what if that's just completely wrong?
Because failure is where all the learning happens. It is an essential ingredient for success. What really defines your character isn't the fact that you fell down. It's your willingness to get back up, learn the lesson, and go at it again. That persistence is where real, lasting resilience is built.
And maybe, just maybe, the toughest battle of all is the one with our own history. Releasing old regrets, forgiving yourself for past mistakes, and choosing to actually live in the present moment, that takes incredible mental and emotional strength. It's a daily practice of resilience. So, this is where we get to reframe the entire story. Those difficult chapters in your life, they aren't scars. Think of them as trophies.
They are tangible, undeniable proof of your ability to endure, to adapt, and to grow.
Heartbreak, loss, betrayal, starting over, financial struggles, illness, uncertainty, and then standing up for yourself, failing and trying again, and letting go of the past. Those are the 10 experiences we just walked through. And listen, if you've navigated even one of them, you have a deep reservoir of strength inside you. You need to give yourself credit for that.
And maybe this is the most important takeaway of all. Resilience isn't always some dramatic, heroic moment. More often than not, it's the quiet, unseen decision to just take one more step, to take one more breath, to simply keep moving forward. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Take a moment and reflect on your own journey. What challenges have you faced, and how have they, maybe without you even realizing it, made you the incredibly resilient person you are today?